So for the first topic, let's discuss horizontal versus vertical scaling. So what exactly is this, right? When you think of horizontal, you mean like on the x-axis, and when you think of vertical, you mean like y-axis, right? So as the name suggests, this means like horizontal means you add more machines. And then for the vertical, it means add bigger machines, right? So for example, um, you start an application, and then you have more visitors to your site. Okay, you have your app, and there are continuously more visitors. So there are two options you could do. One is the horizontal scaling versus the vertical scaling. In the horizontal scaling, you would add more machines, and in the vertical scaling, you would add bigger machines. Okay, so now when you look at these two diagrams, you can think of some like pros and cons of each, right? So let's think about it. So if you think about, there are multiple machines, right? So now you need something to connect and drive traffic to different machines. So you would need a load balancer here, right? So that you can kind of proportionately distribute the requests that are coming to different machines. Okay, for here on the right hand side, because you're using the same machine, you can probably do not require, right? Okay, and now if you think about it, right, there could be an instance where one machine dies, right? Over here on the left, when there's horizontal scaling, it might not affect you. But if you only have one machine here and this is the only thing and it dies, you lose your application, right? So this means there is a single point of failure here. Right, and there is no single point of failure here, so this is resilient. Now another thing, if you think about, right, so if your application has to connect to, let's say, here, and then it goes here, and then the message goes back here, and then back to the client. Over here the message just comes here, and this is where you get the response, right? So there's an added layer on the left when we have horizontal scaling, which we don't have for vertical scaling. And mostly these calls are made over network. So because the calls are made over network, there is more latency. There's more latency. While as on this side, the calls are within the same computer, right? Or they are inter-process. So it is faster, okay? And if you can also think about on the left hand side, you can always add more machines, you can, right? You can always add more machine. But on the right, you are limited. By the hardware. Okay, so you have to design, when you're designing an application, these are the things you should know. Like, should I scale vertically or should I scale horizontally? And what are the benefits of each?